fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. Well, Piston fans, I want to thank you for listening. If you're up this late, but Detroit basketball, please subscribe and like. But our Detroit Pistons, one of the more miraculous games I've seen in my life as a Piston fan. We were down by 23 points in the third quarter, and we won in overtime, 128 to 122. And we had everything stacked against us. We had only 9 players, so you can only play in the NBA. You have to have at least 8 players dressed to play, and so Roden and Amude had to fly fast to get to the game so that we would have 9 players, and we had 9. We could have played with 8, but anyway, it just was incredible. And these guys, they just had to say goodbye to a bunch of their brothers, a bunch of teammates, all those guys that got traded or waived, and um, just everything was against us. We had played back to back and had a hard fought game, and I think that Ivy and Duren played like 37 minutes each last night, and then we have to turn around and play back to back. And Portland hadn't played for 3 days, and we're playing them in their home court, and so it was just incredible. And then on top of it, everything went wrong. We had first quarter we were shorthanded. I'm excited because Sasser's going to get to play a lot. 2 minutes left in the first quarter, he has his third foul, so he has to sit out, and he's one of our best players, that we have left on the team. And then Ivy starts out terrible. He has like 5 turnovers in the first half. He ends up, I think, with only 6, but he kept turning the ball over. He's just trying to do too much. Yeah, it was just crazy. And then it's only poetic justice. We started our terrible skid playing Portland, and we were a good team. And we had won some games at the beginning of the year, but on November 1st, which was my birthday, I went to the game in person, and we had a 17-point lead against the Trailblazers, and we just blew it. We just choked it away, and we didn't hardly score like the last 7 minutes of the game. And that's what turned into the 27-game losing streak. So that was the first one. So a lot of people thought that game helped cause it, that psychologically damaged our team. But I can tell you what, Jalen Duren is a man. I used to say last year when he was only 19 that he was a boy playing among men, playing like a man among boys, and he was a man among boys tonight, man. He had 27 points and 22 rebounds, and he was exhausted, and he was just, guys would miss it. Ivy would drive in there and miss it. He would come in there and he would clean it up and dunk it, and I mean, he just was a warrior. He had 3 blocks, and it was incredible. And then what happens? Ivy, he was on fire. He made 5 threes last game, I think, but he's 7 for 7 on threes, and we're getting killed, and he's on fire on threes. But I've never seen this happen in my lifetime. I don't know, but he was 8 for 21, and so I think he's 1 for 14 on twos and 7 for 7 on threes. And how much sense does that make? But anyway, it was just a crazy night and a miraculous win for our Pistons. And Jeremy Grant, former Piston, he was on fire. He had 49 points. He was 14 for 29, and he was 3 for 6 on threes, but he was 18 for 20 on free throws. He just forced it in there. He just drove in there and smashed his body, and he got 18 for 20 on free throws. So anyway, he played well, but he just forced it so hard. We did not double him. We did not double him until there's like a minute left in the game, and finally we doubled him after he scored like 14 straight points for them. They didn't, so they were shorthanded too. So they were missing Ayton and Sharp and Brogdon and a bunch of other players. So they were really shorthanded too. But and then they had Anthony Simons, who was on fire. We could not stop him. So we probably don't win the game. But he played 25 minutes and had 29 points, and then he got hurt, and so then he had to sit out. He's sitting on the bench with a big ice pack on his ankle. So that certainly helped it, but it does not take a thing away from the gutsy performance when everything's wrong. You're way short-handed. Got 2 G leaguers that just have to fly in at the last second, and like I said, we got in foul trouble. We turned the ball over. We missed shots, and then we just kept on battling. And Duren said in the postgame press conference that Cade came into the locker room at halftime and just tore into everyone, and he said he felt like that made a big difference. So. But Duren said it was really hard, to play. He said it's just part of being a professional, and he's still so young. So we're out there down the stretch and in overtime. We're playing 20-year-old Jalen Duren, 20-year-old Asar Thompson. So these are the guys that play down in the stretch and overtime. Um, 22-year-old Cade Cunningham, 21-year-old Jaden Ivey. That's who we have playing. And then the old man of the group, 23-year-old Marcus Sasser. And he was dynamic again. He had two great games in a row, but he had 11 assists and played 36 minutes off the bench. So that's another incredible performance. But the guys just were, who knows what this can lead. I remember a game way back maybe in like 86 when 1986 when Isaiah and the Pistons were just starting to get good, and we got Joe Dumars finally. He might have been a rookie, but we were playing in Utah, and they never lost in Utah, and they had Karl Malone and John Stockton, and we got way behind like by 20. And then Isaiah Thomas just went out of his body and just started picking him up full court. And Cade did that with Simons at the start of the second half too, and picked him up full court. And he can't guard Simons, but he did it because he wanted to win. But Isaiah just, we came back and we won that game. And I mean, I just felt like that was a big turning point for the bad boys. And but who knows? It was just, I was all ready to, I made up my mind because it was so late. I was going to just do the podcast with like 5 minutes left in the game and not do the whole game so I could get to bed a little bit earlier. But, yeah, it was fun. It was so fun. And I just, you didn't think it could happen. We just basket after basket down at the end, and we were just struggled to score. And then finally we missed a lot of easy shots, but we still didn't quit. So yeah, Duren was just amazing. He had like I said, 37 minutes, 9 for 15, 9 for 10 on free throws. So we shot ourselves in the foot on the free throw line. We were 22 of 31. So we missed 9 free throws, and we still won. But Duren was 9 for 10 though, so that he was incredible. 8 offensive rebounds. So a lot of the time, like I said, not Sasser, but Ivy missed a lot of his drives where how he usually drives in there, and he's been shooting pretty good on his drives. But when he does that, then everybody collapses and tries to help on him, and then that leaves Duren there to clean things up. But he did 28 offensive rebounds, 22 rebounds overall, 3 blocks. He had some huge blocks down the stretch, 23 points. Oh, not 20, 27 points. So yeah, he was a monster. Asar, 28 minutes, even though he had to sit out a lot of the first half, and he ended up with 3 for 9, 0 for 2 on free throws, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 6 points. And like I said, he had 3 fouls with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first, and he was plus 14. He might have had the highest plus minus on the team. But he guarded, when he really got a chance, he guarded Grant down the stretch. And then, especially Sasser, doubled him. There was one double team, even though 14.6 seconds left, tie game. We had just tied it up, and they run the clock down. They get the ball to Jeremy Grant, and Sasser doubles him. He steals it from him. He has a breakaway layup, and Jeremy Grant's running him down, and Jeremy Grant contested it somewhat, but he missed the layup. And Asar comes behind and dunks it, but the buzzer had just sounded, so it didn't count. So we almost had it won in regulation. But Asar was great. He didn't have his. I think not only was he injured in the last game, he was only probable to play tonight because he had injured his ankle last game, and then he got in the foul trouble, and so that made him a little bit tentative. But Muscala, 17 minutes, 2 for 5. He was 2 for 3 on threes, and in the first half, and they were tough. They were contested. He arced those suckers way up there, but 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but only 17 minutes, and I'm not sure why because we were so shorthanded. But he had 6 points, but he was minus 15, by far the worst plus minus on the team. Nobody was close to that. But Cade, and he's just coming back. He hadn't played. He missed the last game, but he played 37 minutes. I'm sure Monty didn't want to play in 37 minutes, but he was 38 minutes, excuse me. 8 for 17, 1 for 5 on threes, which isn't good. 6 for 6 on free throws, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Only 2 turnovers in 38 minutes of handling the ball, and they put their best guys on him. They put Thibault on him, and he's a tough defender. And they got another guy, I can't remember his name. It starts with a C, but he is a tough defender, and he guarded them. But Jaden Ivey, 37 minutes last night, 48 minutes tonight, and he was out there fighting and battling, and like I said, he didn't shoot good from two. He was 8 for 21, 7 for 7 on threes, which is crazy. 3 for 6 on free throws. So, you know, in the NBA, the guy that feels like they should shoot the technical free throw when there's a technical called on the other team, then a guy just steps up to the line that thinks he can make it. And so throughout the year, Killian did it once where he did it. Cade was on the floor and Cade had been on one of his hot streaks, and Killian stepped to the line and shot the technical foul and missed it. And then I've seen Bogey step to the line and miss it. We've missed a lot of technicals this year. I would like, if anybody knows how to research that, let me know how many technicals we've missed this year. But I think we got to be shooting just 60% at best on technicals. But anyway, Monty got all mad at him because he wanted Sasser, but Sasser wasn't going to go up to, Ivy stepped right to the line because he wanted to be a leader. He felt like, after the last game, he was on fire, and so he just stepped to the line to shoot it, but he missed it. So then, he made free throws after that, and he made all of his threes. So he had 6 turnovers, 5 were in the first half, and he wasn't good, but then he cleaned it up in the second half and handled the pressure. Yeah, 26 points, so good game for him. Weissman came in and played 16 good minutes, 3 for 3, 4 offensive rebounds, which is huge. He had 5 rebounds overall, 1 assist, 1 block, and 7 points in 16 minutes. That's good minutes. But here's another crazy thing. All these things that were impossible to turn the ball over that much in the first half. We had like 10 turnovers for 20 points or something really bad in the first half. Um, and then, we were shorthanded, and, we got injured, and then we got foul trouble. But Stanley Umude, he he hasn't been shooting that good in the G League. Roden has actually been much better. Last I checked, his stats were way better than Umude's. But Umude comes in there, first time he catches the ball, he fires up a 3 and it goes in. And he was 3 for 4 on threes, 5 for 8 overall. He played 29 minutes. So people question this. Why, when we were struggling, when Livers and Knox weren't playing well, why did we not ever give Stanley a chance? He was on the team at first. He had some good games, and then we just sent him down with the Crews, and he, we never saw him again. But he had 14 points in 29 minutes, and we don't win this game. He's certainly not afraid. I can tell you that. He every time he got it, he was ready to shoot it. He hit a good percentage, so we win a one against Sasser. 36 minutes, 6 for 13, 3 for 7 on threes. He had a huge one right down the stretch. 2 for 4 on free throws, 3 rebounds, but like I said, 11 assists and 2 turnovers. And you're a rookie, even though he's the oldest one of them, but he's a rookie, and he's one of the revelations of this year is Marcus Sasser. Again, like I said, I wouldn't have drafted him because I wanted this. At that pick, I wanted to get a 4 that could shoot threes, and because we're desperately in need. But Sasser's a gamer, man, and I know that Troy saw something special in him, and so far he's proven Troy right. So Roden played 13 minutes. He struggled. He had a turnover where he was taking the ball out of bounds after a made basket, and the other team picked it off and scored, so that was tough. But he played 13 minutes, 1 for 2, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 block for 2 points. But we shot 48%, but we shot 59% on threes, thanks to Duren and Ivey, and 16 for 27. So that we don't win the game if we do that. So just think how many games we would have won earlier in this year if we had shot anything close to that. So we're doing this. We shot 59% on threes with no Bogey and no Burks. And that's crazy. You would never think that could happen. But again, the free throws hurt us. They were 29 for 33 thanks to Jeremy Grant. We out-rebounded them 45 to 38. We had 16 turnovers, so again, we had 10 the first half and only 6 the second half, and they had 15. So, yeah, it was weird, crazy day to have all those players. We waived a bunch of guys, but we waived Gallo, and like I said in the prior podcast, that we waived Killian. So it makes you think to yourself, we waived Killian, the 7th player taken in the draft, and he played. He started this year. He started over Ivy. He played more minutes than Ivy. He just got waived. Nobody wanted to trade for him. Nobody wanted him to be even included in a package. Ivy scored 37 points last night. Killian, it takes 10 games for Killian to score 37 points. But anyway, again, I don't want to just rip on Killian. The thing I'm talking about is the person who made the decision to do that was Monty Williams. And so Monty chose to start him over Killian or Ivy. He chose to play him over Ivy. And yeah, so after the game last night, when he scored 37, had his career high, and put the team on his back, I had two of my listeners, and I'm going to mess it up, but I don't know if it's Nudgies, Nuggiess, and I don't know the rest of it. And then Johnny Badman, they both in the comments noticed right away after the game that in the post-game press conference, Monty did not say a word about Jaden Ivey, who just had the game of his life and led us to a victory. And he starts talking about, oh, AB, Alex Burks. Oh, he showed us how to play and everything. And Sass, he came in and did this and that. And they were both great. And JD, he was the leader out there, and he was out there fighting and all this stuff, and never mentioned IB. And so later I found some quotes by Monty, and he was asked about IB ceiling. And his comment was, so, oh no, sky's the limit for him. He didn't say that. He said it's hard to recognize what a guy's ceiling is, but I see a young man who is getting better and coachable. When I have to coach him up, of course that same game he scored 37 points. Monty benched him after 5 minutes. He looks me in the eye and takes it the right way. So, he's coaching him up. Again, other people, you see him, how he coaches the rest of the team and how he coaches Ivy, and it's two different things. And for him not to, talk about Ivy in the post game press conference is 37 points, and he was phenomenal. But that's life. But anyway, I don't want to be a downer about this game, because this game was a thriller, and it was a miraculous win for us, and proud of our Pistons. But be the reason that someone feels better about themselves. And go, oh, I know what I want to say. I wanted to tell you we got 2 days off, so we get to get our new players in. So hopefully Grimes and Simona get to come in and practice with us. Then we have to go play the Clippers Saturday, and then we have 2 days more off, and then we have to play the Lakers and the Suns back to back. So that's going to be tough. Then we have 8 days off, and then we play the Pacers in Indiana, I think. But during that 8 day off, that comes at a great time for our players to get revived, and it's the All-Star break. That's probably why we have that. But the players will get to get integrated into our system and practice with the team and get to know each other. So the new players, so that'll be a good thing. So anyway, yeah, be the reason somebody feels better about themselves, and go Pistons.